You said I'm on a mission, and I really am. I want more and more people to understand this concept and utilize it. You know, this is why people don't feel well today. Even if it's as simple as lack of energy, not sleeping well, you know, that it's toxic. We live in a toxic world.
Yeah, awesome. And it is amazing information, and we just know if you're watching, you are special.
You know, I think the best analogy I can give is in most of those 10-day cleanses, it's like the street cleaners that we see on the street.
I remember those.
Yeah, no, so you said remember those, because I used that analogy in something I wrote years ago. And I thought to myself, I don't even know if those exist anymore. And literally, I'm not kidding, 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, I saw one.
Really?
And sure enough, it's
there.
true to form. The brushes are going, and dust is flying everywhere, right? Where's it landing? Everywhere, right? So, you know, I don't know how much ends up in the machine, but that's my analogy with most of these cleanses that are on the market is it's stirring it up, you know, and at best it doesn't work. But the problem is when you stir up toxins, many of them land in bad places, like the brain or nerve tissue. So you actually can get worse from many of those cleanses. And believe me, like you, I've done many of those cleanses trying to get my life back, you know, and it didn't work. Detox, if you just get the cell working, the cell has so many functions that remove toxins from the body. And to him, he was like, well, that's what real detox is. I was like, he made my point for me so well.
Perfect. Let it work by design,
absolutely, right? And it's true, because this cell has things in it like glutathione, methylation pathways, even the cell membrane. All of those things are really what the cell does to get rid of toxins. And when that's working, that's real detox. The problem is we're, you know, bombarded with so many different stressors today, you know, chemical, physical, and emotional. Once these cellular pathways are not functioning, now we start accumulating toxins in the cell. And I said earlier, that's when the DNA starts getting triggered, and we start triggering genes of susceptibility, you know, whether it's any symptom you don't like. But really, the magic is at the cell. Our number one is removing the source. Now, that could mean, obviously, from the body that's bioaccumulated for 30, 40 years, or even from your lifestyle. Our number two is regenerating this cell membrane, which, by the way, is what allows all the good stuff in the bad stuff out. Our number three is restoring cellular energy. And one thing, you know, that, you know, these doctors understand is oftentimes the first thing we have to do with someone who's sick and challenged is get the cellular energy up. So we have to restore that.
Makes sense.
And our number four, I think, is the obvious, and that's reducing inflammation. I think most people watching this, you've heard inflammation is the cause of, you know, they go down the list, cancer, diabetes, you know, and chronic fatigue, we can name it. You know, even the inability to lose weight, hormone problems, you know, and that's inflammation. Our number five is reestablishing methylation. And most of you may not have heard that word, but know this. It's needed in just about every pathway. So, 3 components in review. Number one is we have to get all the way up to the cell for it to be real detox, true detox. Number two, we have to open up these pathways, get the cellular pathways moving, but the downstream pathways. And then number three, and where most go wrong, is they don't utilize true binders. When you look at the phases, there's a preparatory phase, there's a body phase, and there's a brain phase. And one of the things was prepare downstream detox pathways. But we don't want to just jump into detox, which is oftentimes a big mistake. Kidneys.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you this, that's oftentimes a place where people go wrong. Things like heavy metals, they get moved through the kidneys. These are all physician grade products. You know, that means a lot. So you're in the right office because, you know, obviously you can't buy these products in a health food store or, you know, somewhere else just online.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, these are physician grade products. I mean, if you looked in my cabinet at home, you're going to open up, or your doctor's cabinet, you're going to see these products. I am literally myself at this laboratory often, and I watch how every product that comes in, they test with the highest parameters of testing. And I think that's a big benefit of these types of physician-grade products. The liver is a huge, huge detox pathway. And when many people are detoxing and get symptoms, they are backing up in the liver. You know, the liver is very important. Changing gene expression, allowing the good stuff in, the bad stuff out. Literally, I mean, you could do a whole course on fixing the cell membrane, and really that being part of true cellular detox. Because if you can't get the good stuff in and the bad stuff out, you're in trouble right off the bat. Called omega-3 dominance, which actually can cause more brain problems. It can cause, you know, things like lack of sleep and, you know, just anxiety, low-grade anxiety. I've pulled the products out of your package that represent the beginning of detoxification. In the body phase, we are starting the detoxification to clear out the body, but it wasn't until I started a brain phase that I saw things majorly change, you know, where I could literally sleep through almost all of my nights. It's really where it causes all the hormonal problems, is it's in the pituitary hypothalamus, which happens to be the center of your brain, which is what controls your thyroid, which controls your adrenals. Exchange your grains. You know, what we mean by that is, I think most people watching this have heard gluten.
Oh, yeah. Gluten-free. Everyone's going gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Yep.
I've written many articles about it's not just gluten. Genetically modified organisms are a lot of grains today. Just about every corn thing that you find in the store, whether it's a chip, you know, potato chip, corn flake, whatever it is, it's GMO. You know, no doubt about it. If it doesn't say 100% organic, it's GMO. Glyphosate is the chemical in Roundup. It's the #1 pesticide herbicide used on the planet. And they genetically modify so they can spray more. So the problem is this: we are ingesting more of this dangerous, dangerous chemical, showing that it does cause leaky gut. It disrupts bacteria in our gut that we need to make normal brain chemicals. So our studies are showing how it affects the brain, diabetes, I mean, the list goes on, even heart disease. They're spraying it with that chemical, glyphosate, to actually harvest it because it increases the harvest yields. So they're spraying it on before harvest. It's called desiccation. It shrivels up and it actually increases the yield and makes harvest easier. So therefore, we're being exposed to very, very dangerous levels of this chemical. We have those grains for you. So go from regular grains to these, what I like to refer to as more ancient grains. They haven't been genetically modified. They haven't been changed.
Exchange your sugars. So we're getting rid of refined sugars and artificial sweeteners and adding in healthier sweetener options.
Most health food stores, by the way, sell pure stevia extract now. So that exchange is really easy.
Very easy.
Drink coffee, we do, but it's very little, maybe 1 cup in the morning. And you can tell them what we put in that, but we do very little, and we use stevia. And we use organic coffee because coffee does carry a lot of toxins. I believe coffee is actually super high antioxidant, one of the highest.
A lot of coffees out there are covered in mycotoxins and mold, and that is a huge issue with a lot of coffee out there too. So there's good coffee and there's bad coffee.
Can I drink wine? Can I drink alcohol?
That's a good
on the
question.
side?
Well,
let's just hit all
you
these
are
hard things right now.
detoxing.
I know you guys are thinking that. I know you're thinking that.
Wondering about the coffee, wondering about the wine. Yes. So the oils we're talking about are the bad oils, the bad fats, and these are toxic vegetable oils, mostly corn, canola, soybean oil, that create a lot of cellular inflammation. Once again, goes back to the inflammation.
Fat attracts fat.
Exactly.
More people die of heart disease or heart attacks with normal cholesterol and low cholesterol than high. This may be somebody who just says, you know, I'm an athlete, I'm someone that's in shape, healthy now, and I want to take it to the next level.
First, advanced strategies, intermittent fasting.
Years ago, I had a lot of experience in just water fasting, and look, there's beauty in it, and there's major healing. An intermittent fast is where you bring calories down to maybe 500 to 800 calories for a specific time, so we call it daily intermittent fasting. They've been told, we've been told, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Let's take it a step further. Not only is it the most important meal of the day, but it should be your what? Biggest or smallest meal of the day?
Biggest.
So you're saying,
king, right?
Yeah, all right. And you're saying you don't eat breakfast, and you look that way. I'm saying I don't eat breakfast. You know, having a little bit of organic coffee, which we talked about, right? You know, with a little bit of butter or MCT oil.
Ketosis or keto adaptation. So I'm not sure if the audience has heard much about the ketosis, the ketogenic diet, keto adaptation.
If you eat too much protein, the problem is it converts to sugar. And too much protein anyway, many studies show, it really ages you very fast, right? So we don't want to eat too much protein.
High fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate.
But we have to get their carbohydrate intake under 50 grams a day. 2 tablespoons of grass-fed butter a day. Remember, butter's not bad. That was a 180 I gave you.
Yep.
2 tablespoons of coconut oil, which you said earlier helps you become a fat burner.
Right, because of the medium chain triglycerides in it.
Now, this one may seem a little odd. It's 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, of sea salt.
Something called diet variation.
And
so let's explain that.
Right, exactly. And this strategy means we vary the diet by doing 1 day a week of high carbohydrate, healthy carbohydrates.
Carb loading.
Carb load. So you're going to ask me, how often do I have to test? And really, testing is really kind of fun in the beginning. Right when you get it, you want to do it.
If you push this down, that loads it up, right? And then you just twist and pop this off. Okay?
Okay. But, you know, when that starts to drip, then you know to put the blood on the end. You'll see. 0.5.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I'm in ketosis.
Hey, all right.
I just made it.
this is a concept that really I want you all to understand. We have to fix the cell to get well, and I've made that point many times. So imagine if I blocked that hormone from getting its message in the cell. What would happen? Well, you wouldn't be able to lose weight despite what you eat, despite how much exercise you do. By taking more of this hormone or that, estrogen, testosterone, yes, it works in the beginning. Your genes and turn on bad genes, even obesity genes. There was a great study, Stanford University study, where they took certain toxins and they exposed it to identical twin mice, and they turned on the obesity gene in the mice. Didn't matter what they ate, didn't matter how much they exercised, those mice would not lose weight no matter what. Sound familiar? This cell is not detoxifying. Now the toxins are building up, driving inflammation, turning on bad genes, dropping your cellular energy. You said it doesn't matter how much I exercise, doesn't matter how I eat, I can't lose it. It's getting worse.
I can't lose it, and I don't feel well. And on a cellular level, it made so much sense to me when I was listening to what you were saying, because it finally brought things full circle for me as to why I can't feel better. So I started with traditional medicine, and I was seeing, great physicians, but they were not helping me, and they wanted to treat symptoms, and I knew there was a deeper problem. This is what I saw that changed my life in this moment.
We bring them into the cell.
When I was told I have a disease, it was like mentally, I'm like...
They told you had a disease forever, they told you.
Yes, I will have to take this medication forever.
All these things that we do, getting rid of the toxins, getting rid of the stressors, this is what you need. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the meta-oxy test actually shows cellular inflammation. This test is very important. As a matter of fact, its studies show that it's 50 times more accurate than a blood test. You want to be between 1 and 2, and that's showing a normal amount of cellular oxidation. Most tests that people spend a lot of money on, it's really not showing cause. This test does, and we've talked about inflammation being the cause of so many things, from cancer to diabetes to thyroid issues, and even why people can't lose weight. We see it move down into here we know that this membrane is becoming more fluid. We know that this membrane is now allowing things to come in and bad stuff to come out. These exercises really make a difference.
We're going to start in mountain pose. So you put your feet together and your hands are by your side and you want to roll your shoulders back. Now inhale, flat back. Raise up and flat back. That's it. Now exhale, collapse everything down.
I used to specialize in structural correction.
So what we're going to do is, and again, you can do this on your mattress or on the floor.
You can literally take your pulse and feel everything.
Dropping.
Yeah, dropping.
And
That's pretty neat.
stabilizing.
Yeah, and stabilizing.
And then we're going to show you how to do it in a seated position. This is called bow pose.
Bow pose, got it.
Bow pose. So should I demonstrate this one first?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we're going to have you do it. That's the beauty of the poses is you can do one pose, you can do all of the poses, you can mix and match them based on how you feel. They're all going to serve a purpose and they're all going to work.
So let's show you
love
some
that.
really cool stuff that you can do at home that is really, really easy, but you know, according to studies, it works better for detox. It's moving out stuff that's probably been there for a long time. That's how effective this is.
Dr. Pompa, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Could you do this at your office, at work?
Anytime. So go, move your arms, get your arms up. Yeah, either forward, I like that. She's doing something. The point is it's upper body, lower body, which makes your heart beat. So now we're working the shoulders, the biceps. Of course, you're working your glutes. And
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squat jump. 2. And burpee down.
so this actually lowers cortisol, you know, raises growth hormone, which we need to recover, reduce inflammation. So look, it works. The studies show that it works, but the problem now is you actually have to do it. So alpha-lipoic acid is a fat-soluble binder. It also creates energy in the cell. It's also an antioxidant. Well, raising glutathione at the cell, it can push the toxins out, but eventually they make your way to the liver, and eventually they make your way to the gut. This product is made to keep retoxification or auto-intoxication from occurring. They brought me in to speak about health and health issues, and they loved this stuff, and it was from a tree with this fruit about this big, and it had all these little seeds in it, and they were surrounded by this stuff, and we started sucking on this thing. It was a baobab tree. So there's some really amazing binders in here, and it binds organic and inorganic toxins. I said there's 3 components to true cellular detox. Number 3 was using true binders. Look, this is where most people go wrong. This is groundbreaking in cellular detox. It's a true binder that holds so strongly on to the toxins that it brings it all the way out of the body. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more safe than what's in nature. Safe, effective, true binder, gets into the cell, gets into the brain. This product, or the ingredients in this product, were really developed to not just raise cellular energy, but they do it by duplicating the factories, the mitochondria, that make energy. G-Cell is a very, very important product. As a matter of fact, I was part of developing this product, and it's a 3rd-generation product. There are some very special ingredients in this product. No doubt, liver and kidney play a huge role in getting rid of toxins downstream. When the liver backs up or the kidneys back up, we experience symptoms that we don't like. Thousands of doctors around the world use these products. As a matter of fact, this liver product is very famous because it's used by very, very famous doctors. It works. We need minerals. We add minerals in the brain phase because I explained that when we're pulling toxins away, we can create mineral gaps. Methylation is really important. As a matter of fact, it's really a part of most cellular functions that we see malfunctioning today. It's a part of detox, it's a part of the cell membrane, it's a part of the energy pathways, and it does protect our DNA, and it also can turn off those bad genes. So putting those methyl donors or groups back in is vital for detoxification, really vital for survival. Building out a product like ROX, R-O-X, obviously has what we know is major ingredients that are known, studies show, that reduce inflammation. Powerhouse anti-inflammatory product. And one of the things that this product was built around is this specific 4-to-1 ratio that studies show is the target ratio to help fix that cell membrane. I'll tell you, you've never looked at a list of ingredients that are more complete than this.